Away from home, bad run of form, down to 10 men. More shots on target, more goals, not bad really, and for 86 minutes, almost had a clean sheet as well.
Lads.
So on the back of the 3-2 defeat to Man United, Blades come in with two changes. Most surprisingly, an unchanged back five, which is not something we've been able to say a lot this season, but Robinson keeping his place in the quote-unquote Jack O'Connell position, and Enda on the left flank again. No sighting of Max Lowe. We did have Lundstram come in for Bogle. Bogle obviously out with the injury. We'd find out after the match that he's going to be out for at least 3 months. So plenty to talk about there. And then Brewster comes in for a rare start, partnering Didsey up top of the pitch. So 2 changes for the Blades. From the off, I thought Blades looked leggy, looked a bit jaded in possession. There was really no attacking intent. There was no overlapping. There was just not much going forward. Brighton predictably attacked us down the channels. I think they saw the Man United blueprint, clip some balls in over the top, clip some balls down the channels, and see if you can really stretch us, especially that mid-3, and really stretch Jack Robinson. Really just a couple of half chances. Brighton had the lion's share of possession, and a couple chances from set pieces, but nothing too notable. Ramsdale, really not much to do. Couple flashpoints as we enter the last part of the first half. First of all, on about the half-hour mark, John Fleck subbed off for Ollie Burke. From everything we saw, it was tactical. Fleck went right up to the stands. He did not go down to the tunnel for treatment. So I think Wilder had really seen enough. And when you're on 1 point, when you're in the thick of a relegation battle, I think you just make your point clear to your players through your actions. And within a minute, Burke's on, and he's chasing down the ball, and he's winning a free kick in a really dangerous area, and that led to the best chance of the first half for either team. McGoldrick teed up for a free kick, bent it round the wall, forcing the Brighton keeper into a really good save to tip it behind for a corner. So a great start from Burke, great free kick from McGoldrick. We'd seemed like we'd found the shape we wanted, we'd had some intent going forward, and then on 40 minutes, Lundstram goes in, wins the ball, overruns the ball, studs into the Brighton player's foot. He's shown a yellow. The ref in his ear then goes to the monitor and shows Lundstram a red. Now, the ref went to the monitor and looked at that tackle in slow motion, and in slow motion you can make the argument that it's a red card. In real time, Lundstram won the ball, not really going to be able to adjust his body, and he goes in, overruns the foot, and to me it's a yellow card all day long. There's no malice, there's no studs high up the knee. It's a yellow card, but when you watch it in slow motion, all you see is the studs hitting the foot. And before we know it, we're down to 10 men. We did manage to go into the first half, honours even, goalless, and really a big halftime team talk ahead for Wilder, because do you stick or twist now? What's the plan? Do you play for a point, or do you try to find a way when you're only on 1 point to get all 3? So big second half to come, big halftime team talk to come. Let's see what happens. Up the Blades.
Yeah, so no changes at half-time. I felt we kind of struggled for about the first 10 minutes of the second half. We kind of looked a bit all over the place, and we were giving the ball away far too easily. But we settled down after that. Burke was causing lots of problems again, running through. His pace is incredible. Bogle came on. We instantly saw what he brings to the team. He was aggressive in the tackle, but he was also smart in the sense that he didn't give away too many free kicks. He kind of like ushered the player out. And, you know, he nicked the ball off quite a lot. He was always wanting to go forward, which was really refreshing. I really wanted to see more of him. Unfortunate for Brewster coming off. I think it was a sort of game where he would have been better coming on later and just starting from the start. But I'm not, you know, Wilder didn't do anything wrong today. The choices were fantastic. On 60 minutes, Ramsdale made a couple of fantastic saves. He dived at the foot of a player. I'm not sure who they were, but he managed to get that away, and a player was running onto the rebound and he managed to hook it away just in time, and that would have been a certain goal, so that was fantastic. I think Ramsdale looked 10 times better than he did last week today. He was commanding, you could hear him shouting, he was time wasting a little bit, which is nice to see because I haven't done that much this season. And not long after that, I think about 63 minutes, Bogle got his goal, which was fantastic. The least he deserved with how he was performing today. A nice ball down to Burke, straight back into Ender, put Didsey through behind and a cut back to Bogle. Got a deflection, but, if you don't shoot, you don't score, do you? It was a bit of a backs against the wall second half, not going to lie, but we had 10 men. That's not surprising. 83 minutes, Burke had his chance. I said when he missed that, we know what's going to happen now, and it did. And it seems to happen a lot, and it's just so frustrating. Their goal, I'm not going to complain about it too much. Like, there wasn't really much we could do. You could talk about maybe the free kick was cheap, maybe we should have got a better header, but, there's not much we could have done, really. It's just unfortunate. They hit the bar literally the last kick of the game, pretty much. So in the end, we were fairly lucky to come out with anything. Decent point in the end, but, it's just unfortunate how it turned out not winning.
Time for the player ratings. Ramsdale, 8. So unlucky not to get that first clean sheet. He so thoroughly deserved that today. Didn't put a foot wrong. A couple of really good saves. The 60th minute when he was diving at people's feet, really brave. Great performance, 8. Bulldog, 7. Didn't get forward too much in the first half, committed a few too many silly fouls, but an absolutely immense second half display, culminating in that last ditch tackle at the end. Basham, 7. Typical Basham, always solid, always gives his all, could hear him commanding around the box, brilliant. Egan, 9. Absolutely superb performance for me from Egan today. What a leader. What a player. We need to hold on to him next season. Robinson, 6. All the defenders get at least a 6 this game, just for that defensive effort. Obviously, doesn't do too much going forward. We know that. He did try. He gets a 6. Stevens, 6. Again, the defence was solid. He grew into the game, I thought, today. Would have been nice to have seen him make a bit more of his chance, as difficult as it was. Lunny gets a 4. I know there's going to be mixed opinion on the sending off. It was a poor first touch. We just changed tactics as well, but obviously put the team in jeopardy. And there was that ridiculous long-range shot as well. It's a 4 for Lunny. Ampadu, 7. Showed his qualities in the first half, but for me also had a fair bit of grit and determination in there. Obviously that carried through into the second half. Was a really solid performance, I thought, from Ampadu today. Fleck, 4. Didn't affect the game at all. I recall a couple of really poor touches, and obviously Chrissy subbed him in the 32nd minute, sacrificed him to get Burke on. Didsey, 9. Some great touches and link-up play. Unlucky not to score from the free kick. I thought it was in 2. I was on my knees. Gets the assist in the second half. Kept going until he had nothing left. It's a 9. Brewster, 6. Not got too much to work with attacking-wise. Not really his fault. But worked really hard for the team. Obviously subbed on 52 minutes. Subs. Burke, 8. I know people think he should have made more of his opportunity, but how lively, since his introduction, he's a real threat. He always gives the opposition something to think about. I think he's the kind of player that I'd hate to try and defend against. He's one of our best forwards. 8. Bogle, 8. What a debut. Obviously not being able to break into the team because of Baldock's consistency. But when he came on, he was up and down the pitch. And the goal, great first touch. Bit of luck with the deflection, but, he struck the ball. It's on target. Everybody was jumping around. Osborne, another 8. All over the pitch, as always. Created the chance for Burke. Defended really well. Took the yellow for the cause. Great effort from Osborne again. Chrissy Wilder, 8. Obviously stuck with the formation. You can understand why as the game started, but happy to see him change it after 30 minutes when he realised it wasn't working. Then of course Lunny gets sent off, and after that it's an almost perfect performance. every substitution, every tactical change, spot on, I thought, today. The team was unlucky not to get the first win in the end. Okay, thanks for listening.
Positives and negatives to take away from that performance. Well, for 86 minutes, I was really looking forward to this segment. Now, not so much. But hey, away from home, bad run of form, down to 10 men. More shots on target, more goals, not bad really. And for 86 minutes, almost had a clean sheet as well. But sadly not to be. Other good stuff, some good substitutions by Wilder after some arguably questionable decisions of late. Fleck coming off. Fleck for me hasn't been the same, bit like Norwood, a shadow of himself from last year. I do actually agree with him bringing Burke on, probably should have started Burke in the first place, good sub that. Bogle finally making it onto the bench with 9 subs, and what a guy. This is the guy that Derby told us about, good player, Havlo, great, but Bogle is the main man, couldn't even get on the bench, he comes on, my word, what a guy. He's got to start next week for me, or at least get more minutes. Maybe can't start because of lack of minutes, but hey, he was great on that wing, gave us that spark, got a well-deserved goal. Really happy about that. And we doubled our points tally, ultimately. So small celebrations there. Things that weren't so good, we could have won, guys. The Burke chance, that could have sealed it. Ender had a chance earlier on as well. It was frustrating. They were there for the taking, really. Not so great. Down to 10 men playing well, we could have won. And yet again, bit of a mess up in defence. Burke could have sealed it. Had that chance, fluffed his lines, yet to see his finishing, which has been a concern. We knew when we signed him, disappointed with that. And Fleck, as I say, shadow of himself, really worried about that. Maybe Osborne starts next match for me. I think he should get Osborne and Bogle in. The red card, shocking decision for me, not a red. The referee, real time, gives a yellow as well. But then VAR intervenes, and ultimately it was always going to be a red after that point. When they told him to look at the monitor, it was going to be a red. You got the crowd baying for blood as well. Shocking, should have just been a yellow for me. And now our midfield again, it's been in tatters, with no Berger as well. Players off form. I think for me, yeah, bring Bogle and Osborne in, and let's see where that takes us.
So where do we go from here? Well, a lot of positive things to be taken from today's game, starting with the formation. I think Chris Wilder showed that, 30 minutes in, making a substitution, changing the formation to have 3 up front, was that we can probably use this going forward. Maybe not against Everton, another game where we'll probably have to be more defensive, playing on the counterattack to try to get a goal. But definitely the games after that, Burnley, Crystal Palace, Newcastle. These are games where we're going to have to play on the front foot, have to play attacking, and 3 up front could be the answer. The other answer, in my opinion, could be the 4-4-2 or some variety of that, having Osborne and Bogle playing in a more attacking wide midfielder / winger role. Bogle proved to be super effective today, and Osborne, with his pace, being able to get back and defend, very effective on the left wing. The biggest news, though, today, and the biggest effect on us going forward, is that we don't have Sander Berger for 3 months. And so going into this, I was going to be like, okay, we can rely on Bogle, Berger, Ampadu even to hold that midfield line. But without Berger, we're going to have to rely on Lundstram or Fleck or Norwood. And those 3 seem to be the 3 that Wilder is least confident in right now, or at least I'm least confident in. Lundstram, a lot of us were saying this could have been his last game, last time we see him in a Sheffield United shirt, either because he gets sold in January, or he just doesn't play ever again after getting a red card and sent off in this game. But our hand may be played for us, and we may have to use him in the side and hold on to him for the rest of the year. But we still have Fleck and Norwood. Maybe Bogle can slot in if we do 3 midfielders. He and Osborne maybe can play on the sides of the midfield. So there's still a lot of options. I'm not super duper worried. It definitely puts a damper on some of the more positive sides of today. Kind of like the game itself, looked like we could get 3 points and then we end up with 1. Looks like we've got a lot of positives going forward, and then you lose Sander Berger. So, it's a bag of mixed feelings today. But we've got Everton. We're fighting for the shirt. We're gonna fight to stay up, and so let's back them. Let's back the boys and up the Blades.
Look at that ping from Norwood. Makes other teams look no good. We've got a team full of leaders. Alan Hill, Chris Wilder taught us. Yeah, there was us on the tour bus. Look how many goals Billy scored us. It's beautiful downtown Bromley. We are the boys from Shore.